Hey there. You might be wondering what I'm eating. Yeah, I'm eating my typical crackers, or usually a bag of chips. You know, your quote unquote bad, unhealthy foods. Typical question I always get is, hey Terry, you're a trainer. Why are you eating this stuff? Aren't you supposed to be telling people you gotta eat salad and healthy foods in order to lose weight? Like, yes, but you can also eat this stuff too. So are you saying I could lose weight eating bad foods? Mm-hmm. You're damn right. You are damn right. Okay, so I don't know how many rice crackers or whatever you call it, chips, uh, crackers, my rice cakes that I actually ate trying to record that intro, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I want to make it a little more fun with these videos and add a little bit more humor because that's just who I am in general. But welcome again to the YouTube channel. Welcome back again to one of my whiteboard series videos. If you're new here, new to the channel, pretty much what we do here on the channel is, whoa, okay, thought I just heard a mosquito, freaked me out. Every week we do one fitness video, one food video. So it's a fitness foodie channel. If you're a foodie and you're into fitness and you need help with your fitness goals, I'm here to help you. I'm also an online coach, in-person trainer, so I think I'm qualified, well, somewhat qualified, right, to help answer some of your questions. So in today's video, we're going over how you should rethink about the way you look at nutrition, right? So the common way people think about nutrition is like how I did it in the intro. Aren't you supposed to be telling people you gotta eat salad? Where they look at food such as being good, or they look at food such as being bad. And if you're eating the good foods, then you're gonna be in good shape. You're gonna get to your goals. You're gonna be healthy. Everything's gonna be fine. You know, it's gonna be magical. But if you eat your bad foods, or if you ever have any bad foods, you get demonized. You know, people look at you like and say like, hey, aren't you on a diet? Hey, aren't you doing this? Hey, aren't you trying to accomplish your goals? Like, why are you having bad foods? Quote unquote bad foods. Yes, quote unquote bad foods. Okay, so instead of looking at food from being a good and bad perspective, we should just look at food as fucking food. Okay, just food. Okay, doesn't matter if you have your ice cream, doesn't matter if you have your potatoes, doesn't matter if you have your salads, doesn't matter if you have your pizzas, they're all food. Like, it just comes down to that. They're all under this umbrella, as you call it, or this big category known as food. So instead, we should always categorize food as being nutrient dense or non-nutrient dense food. And this is your whole foods and also your processed foods, right? So instead, you know, putting it into these categories and giving ourselves things anxiety every single time we go out and eat, every time we make a choice that on paper it might be considered bad, but it's probably not, right? No one lost weight by just having one good meal. No one gained weight by just having one unhealthy meal. So when it comes to weight loss, comes to fat loss, there really isn't a bad food or good food, right? There's just food in general, and most of the time, yes, you should be having your good stuff, your nutrient dense, your whole foods, and sometimes you should be having some of this. We just have one incident where we say, you know, we feel like we fucked up, we're probably gonna run down this spiral and run down this trail of, you know, bad habits and just say like, hey, I messed up this one time, I'm just gonna throw the sink out the window and fuck it, I'm just gonna eat whatever I want, and I lost all my progress. But you didn't lose any of your progress, right? So instead, just focus on it being nutrient dense and non-nutrient dense food. So what are some nutrient dense food, you may ask? like stuff like your sweet potato, your salads, your vegetables, your fruits, all that stuff is your nutrient dense food. Then you have your non-nutrient dense food, right? So your chips, your ice cream, your candy, your Pop-Tarts, that's your non-nutrient dense food. So that's just some example of foods in these two categories, and how instead of labeling them good or bad, just see if they're nutrient dense for you, if they're gonna keep you full longer, if they actually gonna help you and make you feel good, right? So that's what we should be focusing on, instead of just being, hey, I'm completely against this type of food, or hey, this is the only thing I should be eating. Because when you're limiting yourself to only one specific type of food, or when you're limiting yourself to only one option, you're gonna end up being so restrictive that you're gonna break, and then you're just gonna end up binging, right? So we don't want that to happen. So we really have to change our mindset of how we look at things, how we consider food, and how we consider nutrition as a whole, and look at it from a whole perspective, instead of just microscoping in onto one single meal, or microscoping into that one freaking Snicker bar that you had for lunch because you just felt like having a Snicker bar that day. Okay, so if you have someone out there that's constantly like telling you shouldn't be eating this because it's bad for you, Terry, it's bad for you, you shouldn't be eating this, then really ignore that person, because they don't know how the rest of the day looks like for you, and they don't know what you're eating the other 3-4 meals throughout the day, and also throughout the week. Because a lot of times people look at it as a single individual, and they decide to enjoy themselves for that single day or single meal, and they might have a slice of pizza, they might have a whole burger, but all the other time they're having their nutrient dense food, they're having their whole foods, and they're feeling good about it. So instead, just ignore those people and just focus on the foods that you want to eat, and once in a while it's okay to have these foods. And back on my reasoning behind why some bad foods can be considered good depending on the situation, is because you might be stressing out every single day about what you're eating, but instead you throw in some of these non-nutrient dense food, you throw in some of these candy, you throw in some ice cream, and fit it in your caloric intake. I'm not saying you should be splurging on ice cream, or you should be binging on pizza all the damn time, but if you just throw in some of these food into your diet and just having it in moderation, it might help you in the long run. Or even if you feel like you're struggling with being adherent to your diet, like adding these foods here is gonna help you sustain that weight loss, and also mentally it's gonna help you so much more, because we get into the state that we have to stick to these foods, and we have to stick to these certain types of food, and then we end up just running into a wall, right? We end up just running into this wall that we can't get through, because we feel like if we try a different method, we're gonna start from the beginning, and you're not gonna start from the beginning as long as you stay on track. Okay, that's the problem with a lot of people. When they run into this wall, they say, forget it, I can't get through this wall, I'm just gonna go all the way back, and all the work I've done is gonna get reversed, because I'm just gonna start throwing on all these damn processed food, for instead of it being only 20% of my meals, ends up being 90 to 100% on your meals, and then you end up just losing all your progress. That's how you lose your progress. You don't lose your progress from just having 20% of these meals in your diet. Okay, now once again, these non-nutrient dense foods could come in handy, right? Because like, let's say you're at a party and that's the only thing they have, non-nutrient dense food, then it's okay to have a slice of pizza, it's okay to have that slice of cake, and just enjoy it for what it is, instead of guilting or putting pressure on yourself, whether or not you should have the slice of cake or pizza at a party. Instead, we should just enjoy the moment and just realize that, hey, today I'm eating some non-nutrient dense food, and it doesn't really make me feel too good, but I'm enjoying the moment, because the people around me is what really matters. So instead of me being super strict, I'm just gonna have a little bit of this in moderation, and the next day I get back on track. So that's mainly how your non-nutrient dense processed food can help you psychologically, instead of every day having to deal with, whether or not I'm making a good choice or you're making a bad choice. No, there's no good or bad choice. There's only the choice of food that you're making. Now, it could be a choice that's reaching towards your goals, or it could be a choice that's slowing you down a bit from your goals. Whether or not you decide to make on the choice, you want to slow down a bit, pull back, and have some processed foods and enjoy yourself a little bit, and maybe even be on a diet break, that's completely fine. So my rule of thumb is 80% whole foods, nutrient dense food that's gonna help you reach towards your goals, and then once in a while 20% of it can be your quote unquote bad food. You're not gonna lose your progress. You're still gonna make progress, and you can still make progress eating this type of food, right? It's just how much you eat, right? It comes down to the bigger picture. You don't have to completely restrict yourself, but at the same time, you don't have to be too crazy with it. So the question you should be asking yourself is, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? That's the number one question. And whether or not you want to do that quickly, or you want to do that more sustainably, or you want to do that at a moderate pace, right? And then you could figure out whether or not you should have more nutrient dense food or non-nutrient dense food in your daily diet. But in my opinion, there's always room for processed food, non-nutrient dense food, because it's really mentally, that's it's gonna help. Think about the person that's just eating nutrient dense food, just having salads every single day, just having chicken breasts every single day, and just having your brown rice, sweet potato every single day, versus the person that has all of this, but at the same time they're allowed to, once a week, twice a week, maybe go enjoy themselves, have that burger, have that slice of cake that they want, and without having guilt over it. That's the main thing about when it comes to rethinking about how you think about nutrition, is not having guilt, right? We can't be in the state where we're gonna feel guilty every single time we eat something. Instead of being in that mindset, just look at food as it is. Don't look at food as it being good or bad. Just look at it as being non-nutrient dense and nutrient dense, and just categorize your food like that. It doesn't have to be put underneath this umbrella of it being bad. So I hope that was helpful. Hope you guys find this video helpful. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below underneath this video. If you have any other questions you'd like me to answer, make sure you comment down below with your questions, and I'll create a video in the future for it. Okay, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. There's 2 videos every single week, like I said, and one's gonna be on fitness, one's gonna be on food. If you're a fitness foodie lover, make sure you hit that subscribe button. More content coming in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next video.